ask him, who's at number 3?
Who's number 3 for you?
Williams. On the dressing room door is that invisible.
Number 3 Williams, is it?
Number 3 Williams. Sunday the 18th of September. Welcome to Craven Park, Barrow, for the first round of the Lancashire Groenhaller Cup between Barrow in their blue and white stripes and Wigan in cherry and white. The Barrow team this afternoon at 1 Tickle, 2 Stott, 3 Williams, 4 Blacker. A little bit of doubt as to which of those is playing centre. Witt centre, 5 is Burns, 6 Maguire, 7 Marwood, 8 Hugh, 9 Creary, 10 Clayton, 11 Du Toit, 12 Mossop and 13 Walker. And the Barrow substitutes, Trainer and Shaw. The Wigan team this afternoon: 1 Hampson, 2 Iro, 3 Leyden, 4 Bell, 5 Gill, 6 Edwards, 7 Gregory, 8 Shelford, 9 Dermot, 10 Wayne, 11 Platt. Just trying to look at the Wigan back 3 are Platt, Potter and Goodway, but not quite sure yet as to which order they're packing down in. Wigan have won the toss, and it will be Barrow to kick off from right to left. The referee for this afternoon, Mr. Simpson of Cheshire, and away we go for this cup tie. Very noticeable that this afternoon, and Leyden making a good break right at the beginning. Both touch lines have been taken in a yard, so the pitch is 2 yards narrower, which will force the play down the middle somewhat. Referee blowing up. And the scrum half, Marwood, being called over for an incident in the tattle. Referee signifying a face had been rubbed in the deck, and Joe Leyden, early doze, quick penalty, pushes Barrow back into their own half as Dermot comes up to restart with the tap. Forwards taking it on, going charging in. Wigan looking very sharp and very alert in this opening minute. Bit of lying on as it comes out to Gregory. Gregory doing the run around, and Wigan lost ground as Barrow moving quickly. Edwards waiting first pass. It's Edwards who gets it inside to Shelford. Shelford trying to break down the middle. A lot of power in his drive. Comes out to Gregory. Gregory holding it. Wigan lost the ball in the tattle, trying to come through it on the burst. Struggling for it on the ground. Barrow player hurt in the tattle. And Wigan come in quickly and meet them. And Wigan coming in hard and fast. A lot of keenness in these early stages. Both backs trying to sort themselves out. As it's tight in the forwards. Dragging the way over the halfway line. Creary from behind the play the ball. Short pass. Met by Wigan. Referee signals 5 tattles have gone. As it's flung for the kick, and there's a grubber kick coming to Iro. Iro takes it cleanly, trying to bust his way through 2 tattlers. They take him well. Wayne back at acting half-back, moving it inside. On to Hampson. Hampson linked up, beautifully tattled. Can't get away from that sort of play. On to Potter. Potter driving in with his shoulder, looking very strong and very powerful as Dermot goes over to acting half-back. Wigan doing the run around again, getting no ground at all. Barrow spotting it well, taking them. Gregory waiting first pass, and it's Gregory who gets it. Long one across Edwards. His kick has been charged down, ball's loose, and Barrow have got possession. Referee says it's a knock-on. Groans from the crowd. First scrum of the game. Ball's coming out to Gregory. Gregory to Hampson, who's linked up, and Hampson well tattled, been spotted as he came up into the line. Potter doing the run around. Wigan working this move from nearly every play of the ball. Gregory onto Shelford, and Shelford taken man and ball, can't get moving. Wigan finding it hard to crack this defence at the moment as it's flung back for the kick. Lydon hoists a long high one. Tickle just in the right place. Wigan's wall of defence is up there, and he's beaten it beautifully. Good run by Tickle, got away from 3 Wigan players, almost up to the halfway line before he stopped, and that's a high tattle. Little bit worried about that. All head tattles going to be penalised now. And Gregory in a bit of trouble. And he took Moss up high. Penalty to Barrow, right in the middle of the field. A good kick, finds it 12 yards inside the Wigan half. Carreri coming up with a tap onto Marwood. Marwood hands it across, trying to bring him into the centre. Walker up in the attack, moving it across the line onto Mossop. Mossop driving in, but Wigan push him across the field. Long pass by Barrow, and good way up very quickly. And now it's Barrow who are finding it hard to make progress. And that's a heavy tattle by Shelford. Buries his man, a lot of strength in that. Barrow playing it tight in the forwards. Potter going in, and Wigan pushing Barrow back in possession. Referee says 5 tattles have gone. Ball's flung back for the kick. Coming to Hampson, takes it beautifully on the burst, running strongly. Gains a good 15 yards before he's downed. Shelford again, coming in very, very hard, sucking in the defenders. Good way, doing a run around onto Bell, and Bell stopped dead in his tracks. Bell still going. How he got out of that, I don't know. He was almost down to the deck. He managed to get out of there. Oh, and the slumping going in. Mossop putting it in on Bell. Looks like there's going to be a free-for-all here. Mossop perhaps has a little bit of revenge for a high tattle earlier on. Bell was the man in possession of the ball, and looked as if Mossop struck the first one, and Bell was having none of it. Referee having a word with the touch and see if they agree. Bell's being taken over, and Mossop. Referee reading the riot act to them. Could well both finish up in the sin bin. It's going to need calming down, this game. It's full of a lot of tension and a lot of emotion. Both sides trying to get the ascendancy, trying to get on top of the other in the early stages. And both players are coming off. Sin bin, referee says a thump went in. So for the next 10 minutes, 7 minutes have gone. Both sides will be down to 10 men. Penalty given to Wigan. Bell off for retaliating. Mossop struck. Bell gave him one back. Wigan got the penalty, but Bell's paying the prize for retaliating. As Dermot comes up, Wigan for the first time in an attacking position. Wigan driving in among the forwards. Gregory coming up to try and spark off the attack, and Gregory has it. On to Potter. Potter going for the line. Can he reach? And he's held just short, but Potter was coming very well there on that ball. Gill's come inside. Gregory doing the twist, and Wigan have lost possession. The ball goes over the line. Knock on will be given, I think. So the referee got given the scrum dance. I think some of the Wigan players thought that was a tap out, but the referee given the 5-yard scrum. Hampson coming up into the attack. Bit of feeding by Marwood. He's got away with it. Now Barrow got the hard grafting job of clearing their own lines, and here come the forwards, and Wigan wait for them. Eventually, Platt goes in. Barrow going round in decreasing circles as Lydon goes in, upends his man. Goodway's gone out into the centre position. Tight in the forwards, Wigan going in low and hard, pinning Barrow down inside their own 25. Potter coming in to help the tackle. Referee says 5 have gone. Barrow line up ready for the kick. It's flung back a deep one. Coming behind Hampson, he's going to have to retreat for it. That's Goodway with him on his left. On to Goodway. Goodway streaking down the wing with Gill. On to Gill. Gill coming inside. Gill gets it out again. Wigan going for the line inside to Edwards. And Edwards is failed as receiving the ball. But that was a good move by Wigan. Dermot on to Gregory. Gregory beating his man, going back out to the wing. Dancing and jinking his way through. Wigan now turning it on, getting into top gear as they're up in the attack. Onto Edwards. Edwards a short pass across. Wigan trying to bash the way through, bulldozing and bullocking and coming hard onto this ball now. Comes out to Edwards. Edwards back onto Lydon. Lydon's legs are taken from under him. Dermot from behind to play the ball. Out to Edwards. Edwards, little overhead kick. Wigan crowd pleading for obstruction, but the referee says play on as Barrow have it. A few yards out from their own line, and once again the forwards coming hard, and that's good running by the Toit, bringing it away well. Strong running. There's a big gap in the Wigan line out as Platt goes into the tattle, and it's a penalty for Wigan going high. Referee signalling the swing went in. Barrow player with a bit of a headache. Barrow with the penalty on their own 25, taking it almost up to the halfway line. 10 minutes gone. Wigan looking the more menacing at the moment, can't get any points on the board as Platt just bounces him down, went in with the shoulder. Referee not happy with the way the tap penalty was taken and has given the scrum down. Referee on the narrow side of the field as Gregory approaches the pack from the Barrow side. In go the heads. And Barrow won it against the head. Edwards going well into the tattle. Wigan lost the advantage there at the scrum. Bit of a push at the play of the ball, and Wigan going to get a penalty for it. And he's thrown the ball away and given another penalty. That stupid play by Barrow. And they've opened their mouth and given another one away. Indiscipline showing in the Barrow side at the moment. The man playing the ball certainly pushed Edwards away. Had Lydon being called up to take a penalty. 11 minutes of the first half gone. Well, Barrow gave away 3 very, very silly penalties then. There was no doubt that the man who was going to play the ball took a poke at Edwards, not a vicious one, but he shoved him out the way. Referee penalised him. He flung the ball away in temper, and somebody else opened his mouth. So Wigan been put into kickable position about 33, 34 yards out from the post. Almost a straight kick for Lydon. He stabs at it. It's going high and it's going wide and dead. Let off for Barrow. Drop out from the 25 by Barrow. Awkward one coming along the floor to Potter on the halfway line. Potter going in field, met by 3 defenders. Dermot waiting for the play of the ball to Gregory. Long one to Shelford. And the touch judge is on for a late tattle. Clayton going to be in a bit of trouble, I think. kept going through and put one in after the ball had been flung wide. Iro looked as if he was coming through, but a wide pass went out to Shelford. So Wigan got another penalty. Barrow mixing it a little bit at the moment. Lydon, long, good ranging kick into the 25. Wigan lining up the forwards for a move. Forwards all close together, forming the wall with Edwards in between Gregory and the wall. It goes to Edwards. Edwards switches it back to Gregory. Gregory onto Platt. Move spotted by Barrow, didn't come off. Dermot out to Gregory. Gregory to Edwards. To Shelford. Shelford trying to take them on. They go low, but he managed to get his pass in onto Edwards. Edwards streaking for the line. And his pass has been knocked down back to Gregory, so we should be back to one. As Gregory running wide, gets his pass in onto Wayne, and Wayne is buried before he can get his pass in, and down again. Referee signalling we're back to one as Dermot plays the ball. Wigan coming, Gregory going inside, can't get it to Edwards, who was steaming up on his right. Comes out to Edwards, Edwards holding it onto Platt. Platt going hard for the line, his legs are taken from under him. Dermot waiting behind to play the ball onto Edwards. Edwards onto Iro. Iro trying to use his strength and his power, taking them with him, still dragging them. Goes down 5 yards out, right underneath the post. To Gregory. Gregory holding it. Long lob pass out to Hampson, and Hampson's in at the corner. And he runs in towards the post. Clever pass by Gregory. They could see Edwards coming through on the burst. And Gregory lobbed a long one out to make it now Wigan 4 after 15 minutes play. Hampson going over and having a lot of time to run in towards the post. Defence was being sucked into the middle. They thought Wigan were going to batter over from a short pass, and Gregory very astutely lobbed a long one out to Hampson, who was right on the outside. Lydon coming up now, stabs at it, terrible effort. Wigan goal kicking not been good this season. However, they'll be glad to have got those first points on the board. 4 points to nil after 15 minutes play. Deep into the 25. Gregory in the right place, bringing Iro inside. Iro coming strongly, they're hanging onto his thighs. Must be taking a lot of steam out of the opposition. This strong running by Wigan. Shelford now decides, and we'll show them what he can do, but they're going in hard into the tattle. It's flung back to Lydon. Lydon tickling, can't take it cleanly at the first attempt, goes behind him, brings the ball inside, and the Wigan defenders are up there. Marwood from behind to play the ball, absolutely buried under the Wigan forwards. The Sin Bin men back on the field. Both Bell and Mossop back on once more, both sides back to 13. Wild pass, and all Barrow can do is drop on the ball. Referee signaling with the back to one as Mossop quickly into the play after he'd been sin bin, bundled over very unceremoniously. And Wigan penalised for an offence at the play the ball. Barrow with a kick, 10 yards inside their own half. Fullback tickle, good kick into touch. Barrow with the tap, 10 yards inside the Wigan half. Barrow lined out very deeply. No ground being gained at the moment. There's a lovely break by Barrow. De Toit was tearing through, going hard for the Wigan line. And Lydon covering back quickly, stops it out. Ball gone loose. But that was a nice break by Barrow. Cut Wigan wide open. Now it's Barrow hot on the attack. And Wigan penalised for offside at the play of the ball. A penalty to Barrow right in front of the Wigan post and 15 yards out. Yeah. And Marwood, scrum half, easiest of kicks. Chance to pull 2 points back here. And it through right in the middle. Barrow 2, Wigan 4 after 18 minutes of this first half, so we still have a game on our hands. Wigan territorially had most of the game, but there they were split open again right down the middle as De Toit came through very well, and from the resultant play, Wigan offside at the play of the ball, and Barrow pulled 2 points back. Barrow 2, Wigan 4, as Joe Lydon along the deck away from his forwards. It's trapped on the 25 line. Barrow dropped the ball just when they looked as if they had a chance. Bit of loose handling. The Wigan to feed. Wigan already having lost one with a put in and the loose head. Wigan lined up very deeply in the attacks. It comes out quickly. The referee thought he'd blown up. Gregory dancing and jinking behind the scrum. Couldn't get the ball out to his standoff. Comes out to Edwards. Edwards to Gill, who's come in the middle. Gill sidestepping, trying to go down the middle. Meets a wall of defence. He bounces up and he's still going. That's Gill. India rubber man, wouldn't go down. Comes to Shelford. Shelford's feet go from under him. They're still and he's lost the ball. Trying to get out of the tattles. Lost possession. Wasted possession by Wigan. Had very little out of it from that last scrum. Pushing Barrow across the field as Creary comes up to act in half-back. Hesitating behind the play of the ball, has to go on his own. Bit of a wasted tattle. Barrow forward bunch playing closely together as De Toit tries charging through the Wigan pack. Barrow at the moment playing it strong in the forwards and a bit backing up well there. Ball's gone loose. Referee going to give the scrum down, I think. Gregory to feed. Wigan did very little with the possession the last time from the scrum. This time a long one comes out to Edwards. Edwards trying to make a break, can't get through. Dean Bell up. And the touch judge is on. De Toit holding. It isn't De Toit. An offence on Edwards, rubbing his face in the floor. Joe Lydon belts that very, very high and long, right up to the 25 line. Dermot. Sargi's going on his own, puts his shoulder in. Gregory's up with Goodway, first pass. And it goes to Goodway. Goodway switching direction. And Wigan have lost it. Lydon a bit casual. And Wigan handling not all that it might be. Wigan trying to work a move around the play of the ball. It failed very ignominiously. Marwood to feed, and he did it well. He's got it out, taking it away from the scrum. Potter goes across to bury him. On to Mossop. Mossop running into Edwards. Edwards hanging on to him. Very pedestrian stuff from Barrow at the moment. Not fluid football at all, but it's cup-tie stuff and not yielding anything and making Wigan struggle hard and defend. Forwards giving it all they've got, and now they're spraying the ball back. The force back inside as Wigan had moved up. There's a kick behind the defence. Hampson having to go back for it. Keeps it in play with his foot. A lot of blue and white jerseys up there as Hampson tries to get through them and he can't. Iro's behind, waiting for the play the ball. Iro having a run on his own. Gains 10 yards of ground. Dermot moving it across. Wigan players all very, very close together behind the play the ball. As it comes to Lydon, he kicks behind the defence, and that looks a good kick. A very good kick by Joe Lydon. Picked his spot. Knew exactly where he was putting that ball. And so we go back into the Barrow 25. 24 minutes of the first half gone. Barrow 2, Wigan 4 as the forwards go into the Barrow 25. It'll be Marwood to feed. Ball's into the pack. Marwood managed to get his pass in. Going across the field. Lydon comes in to put his man down. Barrow getting plenty of possession at the moment and hanging on to it. And Wigan penalised in the tackle. Bit of a conference going along among the Barrow players. I think it's Toy trying to calm them down a little bit. As Tickle gets it into touch on the halfway line. Barrow with a lot of possession, but not a lot gained territorially. Only once been up to the Wigan 25, and it brought them 2 points. Now they move it way across the field, and they've knocked on. That might be the reason they're not playing a fluid game. Whenever they tried to move the ball, there's been a knock on. So the Wigan to feed. 8 yards inside the Barrow half. King of the heads, knocked down properly. Ball goes in. Switch on to Bell. Bell trying to go down the middle. There's no way through for him. Lydon up behind the play the ball. On to Wayne. Wayne running a bit wide. Gets out of one tackle. Gets out of another. Strong running by Sean Wayne. Dermot coming over. Flat first pass. Decides he's going to have a go at them. It's taking 3 forwards to put him down. Dermot to Gregory. To Edwards. Back to Gregory. Gregory running across. There's going to be an obstruction given. Wigan player went through without the ball. Referee will give the obstruction. Gregory was running a little bit wide. Wigan player went coming straight onto it, wanting to get it on the burst. Went through with that, and the referee gives another penalty. Tickle comes up to kick down Gill's wing. Not a lot of ground gain. Start with a tap. 8 yards inside the Barrow half. Here come the Barrow juggernaut again. Just shoulder in, bashing the way forward. Rather dull pedestrian football. As once again another forward tries to take Wigan on, and this time he was nearly through. Referee let him play continuous. Wigan might have been given offside behind the play of the ball. Now they bash the way up, almost up to 10 yards from the Wigan 25. Not very glamorous stuff this. Now they're spraying the ball across. A long one coming out. There's an overlap. The ball's been dropped. And every time Barrow try long passing movement, it breaks down through bad handling. He was under no pressure at all to take that. Out to Wigan. On to Iro. Iro going in midfield. Running a bit wide and making an easy target. Getting mauled a bit in the tackle. He's a big lad. Barrow holding Wigan down. Gregory misses it, picked up by Shelford. The referee said there's been a knock on. Neither side settle down to play fluid football. Defence is right on top at the moment. Scrum half pleading there's nowhere for him to get the ball in. Feet are all over the place as the pack collapses. Marwood puts it in. Pack's wheeling all over the place. Marwood manages to get the ball out. Plays it back to Walker, a long one to Maguire. Maguire moving it across the field. Wigan move up and force him back. Barrow now into the Wigan half, and Wigan defence being very strong. And have they given another penalty away? Goodway adjudged to be the offender. Barrow a chance to level the scores here. Almost on the half hour. A scrum half Marwood lines it up. Wigan leading by 4 points to 2. Bit of frustration creeping into the Wigan play. High ball and wide and dead. Let off for Wigan. The Wigan still leading by 2 points. Will drop out, be Joe Lyden to drop out from the 25. Oh, and he didn't hit that properly. It comes to Mossop. Mossop running cross field. Managed to get his pass in very nicely. Wigan not putting the man down. Long pass comes out. And Gregory in very quickly. And Blacker disappears under the Wigan defenders. Marwood waiting behind the play the ball. Marwood round the narrow side onto loose forward. Walker, and he's lost the ball. Comes to Wayne. Wayne turning defence, and a bit of trouble going on this side of the field. Players trying to separate it, and Barrow players trying to, and touch judge on the far side got his flag up. And the Barrow players certainly came in to dispense justice after they little to do over on this side of the field. Walker standing there waiting to receive whatever sentence may be given. Touch judge giving a lengthy explanation. And it is taking some time to tell the tale. Walker not at all happy, and then Blacker came along to dispense justice. And Gregory and Walker are going off. And once again, both sides are down to 12 men. Now, what will Wigan's formation be? Having lost the scrum half, looks as if Bell has gone to stand off. Edwards to scrum half. Backs all over the place. Referee ordering a re-scrum. And he's given Wigan a penalty for feet up in the scrum. Wigan without the scrum half. Barrow without the loose forward. Joe Lyden just stabs at the ball. Takes it into the 25. 8 minutes to go to half time, apart from any stoppages, as Dermot comes up. And Shelford's on his own. All the rest standing way, way off him. Now Wigan regrouping the forces as Wayne decides he's going to score on his own. Now it's Wigan one man at a time, and Wigan are lined up very, very deeply. As a switch to Edwards. Wigan still trying to crash the way over through this tightly packed defence. Comes out to Edwards. Edwards holding it. Short pass onto Bell. Bell gets his pass in. Onto Wayne. Wayne trying to take them with him, looking for support. Lobs a high one. Bouncing awkwardly. Edwards, long one out to Iron. He misses it. And Wigan going to be penalised for swinging in the tackle. Well, that pass had got to Iro. He would certainly have scored, but couldn't take it. And then Wigan, probably with frustration again, put in a blow. Barrow with the tap penalty. Forwards meet each other. Clayton hurled back from behind the play of the ball. Oh, and that's a hard tackle by Shelford. And somebody comes in to chop Shelford out. Barrow resenting the tackle as Mossop comes in. Shelford meets him hard with Potter, but he managed to get his pass in. And Barrow going back in possession as the Wigan forwards are now tackling extremely hard. Meeting the men head on. Team Bell and Potter taking the man. Marwood kicks a good kick behind the Wigan defence, and that saved his forwards an awful lot of work. The Edwards, no stranger to playing scrum half, to put the ball in. Forwards meet, ball's coming out Edwards' side, it's locked in the pack, onto Iro. Iro well taken, one upstairs and one down. Dermot doing the run around, and that's good tackling by Barrow, the holding Wigan. Wigan now, Bell trying to crash his way through, getting a valuable 10 yards of ground. Dermot to Edwards. Edwards putting a kick in behind the defence. Gillis following it up fast, and the ball's gone loose and been knocked on, surely. Referee's already blown for the knock-on as it came to Wigan. But Gill harassing him, made him knock on, and so it'll be a scrum down just inside the Barrow 25. Referee blew very quickly. Wigan could have got the advantage there from that knock-on. The referee had already blown. Coming out to Edwards. Edwards trying to dance through from the scrum, has his legs taken from under him. Comes out to Bell. Bell to Gill. Oh, and Gill's met and he knocks them off. Strong running by Gill. Still on his feet, turning and twisting, but he'll have to go down. Switch to Edwards. Edwards jumping. Edwards makes a break. And he swung round from behind, but he was quickly off the mark. Shelford coming onto it now, but Dermot decided he's going to go on his own. A long one to Hampson. Hampson puts a kick in, it's being chased. And the referee says he didn't ground it, as it was chased by Iro. 3 minutes to go to half time. Wigan finding it very, very hard to get more points on the board. Tap from the 25. Dermot goes in low. Barrow with it tight in the forwards. Wayne goes in tackling. Barrow forwards working very hard, grafting all the time. Switched inside to Detroit. Detroit dragging, he's lost the ball. Snapped up by Wigan, a long one to Hampson. Hampson streaking through. He's on his own, and his feet go from under him as Blacker comes into the tackle. Played to Iro, to Lydon. Back onto Iro. Iro trying to go through the middle, and there's no way. The tackling sure and safe by Barrow. Comes out, good way, moving it on to Edwards. Edwards across onto Platt. Platt can't get rid of the ball. Edwards up behind the play of the ball. Edwards turning and twisting, trying to do it on his own. As Dermot comes up. Barrow moving in very quickly and pinning Wigan down. Good way. On to Shelford. Shelford going hard. Long one out to Iro. Iro can't take it clean. He knocks on. Referee will give the knock on after a good break by Shelford. Lobbed that long one out to Iro. Once again, Iro couldn't take it. Marwood to feed. Barrow's front row shoot up from the packs, having difficulty getting the heads in. Puts it in, he got it out. Potter takes his man well. Barrow back in their own half. Marwood waiting for the play of the ball. Mossop upended, getting nowhere at all. Barrow now spraying it out, and once again it's been dropped. Referee says it goes back. Coming back inside. Barrow darting away quickly, nearly made the break. Referee says 5 tackles have gone. And it's kicked, it's clean to Potter. Wigan with possession in the dying moments of this first half. What can they do with it? It goes out to Edwards. Edwards on to Hampson. Hampson's wild pass has been taken. Wigan have it. Good way on to Gale. Gale going down the middle, trying to dance his way through, but a lot of blue and white jerseys around him. He could have got rid of it. He had player up with him, but he decided to hang on. Good way onto Shelford. Shelford taking them on the burst. This time he's let the ball go. Wigan keeping it moving. As it's flicked back inside onto Goodway. Goodway up to the 25 line. Lets the ball go onto Dermot. Dermot looking for support. Wigan going for the line, and Lydon's in. Well, that was set up well by Shelford. He refused to be tackled. Flicked the ball back. Wigan flicked it back again. Then it went out to Lydon, and in the dying seconds of this first half, Wigan managed to get the second try on the board after some determined, strong, powerful play by Shelford, making it now Wigan 8, Barrow 2. Gale thinks he should be taking it. Gale coming over, having a word with Edwards, but Edwards hasn't seen him. And the two Sinbin men back out on the field. They just about get back on the field when it'll be time to go off for half time. Walker, the loose forward, and Gregory ready for coming back on. Henderson Gill, of course, left-footed, kicking from the right-hand side of the field. Gill left-footed, he's hooked it, and there goes the hooter for the end of a very bitterly hard-fought, tough first half. None too entertaining, no spectacular play. Defence is on top. They go. So the players come out to sort out this. Who goes into the hat tomorrow morning? Wigan to kick off, leading by 8 points to 2. Joe Lydon from right to left. Referee waves them on. Awkward ball. De Toit coming driving in hard. Barrow then in these early moments on their own 25. Mossop, who's played a very, very strong game. Coming hard down the middle, beautiful break. Coming up to the fullback, and Hampson takes him cleanly, but that was a beautiful break by Barrow. Pushing Wigan back, and here comes Mossop. Managed to get his pass in, and Wigan stretched on the far side of the field, turning them back inside. Barrow, long pass which looked overhead and looked forward and pushed over the touchline. But Barrow certainly came out full of fire, ferocity, and split Wigan right down the middle. Well, that was a good start to this second half by Barrow. Surged down the field, and Wigan were found wanting. Barrow forward, needing attention. I can't see him from here. I think it's the loose forward who went in well. It's out to Wigan. And Iro's dropped it. Wasted possession by Wigan. That's terrible handling. Iro throws it away in disgust, and that really sets Barrow up now. Barrow with a double advantage here. Pack all over the place. Wasted possession there by Wigan. And it's shot out. Wigan won it against head onto Iro. He takes it this time, trying to bring it, straighten it up and come through. And he's tackled low and hard and efficiently. Bell decided he's going to clear his lines and gains a lot of ground for Wigan. Having to fight for every inch this afternoon where the defences are. And a penalty to Wigan for not facing correctly as he played the ball. Edwards receiving the explanation. Not happy with the way Bell played the ball. 2 minutes gone of the second half. Absolutely straight kick. .33 yards out. Wigan leading by 8 points to 2 as Marwood tries to capitalise on the advantage that Barrow have had in these opening seconds of this second half. Wigan made a couple of bad mistakes and he stabs at it. And it's over. Crawl over, but it's still 2 points. Barrow 4, Wigan 8. And Wigan know they have a cup tie on their hands. Joe Lydon for the second time in 4 minutes, kicking off. Hard one. Sits up nicely for Barrow. Wayne goes in, meets his man, but it was a good, powerful run by Barrow. Forwards have played very, very strongly this afternoon. And Mossop met by the Wigan pack. Floored by Platt and Shelford. Flung back for the kick. Hampson in his own 25, faced by 4 blue and white jerseys, trying to go around them, going down the middle, and eventually he's down. And Wigan forwards still ambling back, and the Wigan half-backs, and it's Gill who's in the centre to do the work of the forwards, bringing the ball away from behind the play the ball. Dermot gets it onto Shelford. Shelford can't get very far this time. Dermot. Platt trying to take them on. His arms are locked and he can't get shut of the ball. Dermot onto Gregory. Gregory holding it. Onto Dermot. And we're going to throw. Going for the line. Edwards is on the inside. Goes to Bell, and Bell's going to score. Right underneath the post. And there was all the support in the world there. And that came from a lovely short passing by Andy Gregory, and Dermot moved it out nicely. so nicely at just the vital last second. Easy kick for Joe Lydon. Well, that's 2 quick scores in the first 5 minutes of this second half. And this time Lydon makes no mistake. 14 points to 4, Wigan now with a 10-point lead. But they've certainly had to struggle very, very hard for it. One wonders how long Barrow, second division team, can withstand all that they put into it. They've given a lot of graft. Must have taken a lot of steam out of them. All that they put into this tremendous, they hard fought first half. Gill. Taking them on, he runs into a wall of blue and white jerseys, he's still taking them with him, mauling and pulling away at the ball, but he hangs on to it. Now Shelford taking them on, coming in, and what a lot of ground he gained, leaving a trail of mangled bodies behind him, and he's been upended as he's trying to play the ball, so it'll be a penalty to Wigan. Edwards calling Joe Lydon over to kick down the Barrow right wing. Mark 10 yards inside the Barrow half. On to Wayne. Wayne having a run on his own. Met by the forwards. Edwards waiting first pass. With Gregory on his outside. Does a dummy run onto Shelford. Shelford, who's had a powerful game today. One of his most effective games of the season. Switch on to Goodway. Goodway bouncing into them, and they're still having a job. It's taken 3 of them to put him down. Dermot to Gregory. And he's left it, and Wigan stood and looked at that ball as Gregory dropped it. And Barrow, referee says it's a knock-on, that Barrow haven't taken it cleanly. Well, Wigan were a little bit dozy there on that loose ball. Fortunately for them, Barrow couldn't take it cleanly, so Wigan will feed. Come out at the side of the tunnel, got to go in again. Shelford having a job getting his head in, this time it comes out. And the penalty to Wigan. Mossop round extremely quickly. Another penalty to Wigan. The ball was very, very slow coming out the pack, and Barrow came turning round. Joe Lydon for touch again down the Barrow right wing. Just stabs at it. Makes no mistake. Wigan now in the good attacking position in the Barrow 25. Dermot with Gregory first to receive. Comes to Gregory. Gregory on to Shelford. Back to Gregory. On to Platt. And forward pass is given. That's Potter flattened off the ball, looking for the touch judge. Say, what about that? But he's taking no notice of him. With a late tackling going on. Now it will be Barrow to feed, Marwood to put it in. And he's complaining he can't shoot straight out the side of the tunnel. And the pack breaks up in a fracas. Well, Barrow may not be able to get on top in the play, but they're certainly trying to sort it out with plenty of rough stuff. And this is the sort of game that players could get sent off and suspended, a game which isn't really worth it because Wigan so much better than Barrow really. And it's Wayne who's coming off. Referee calling both captains out. 2 players coming off. Can't see yet who the Barrow player is. Right on 3:30. Both number 10s, Wayne and Clayton, coming off. So we scrum down, and Wigan look as if they're getting ready to make a substitution. Ready to bring Brian Case on. I don't know who's going to be brought off. Gregory to feed. Gregory getting it, making the break. And his pass has been knocked down. Bell goes back. So we're waiting for the first tackle as Bell is taken from behind. Nobody at all out on this Wigan left wing. As Shelford decides he's going to take them all with him over the try line, and he's held 15 yards back. Comes left to Gregory, on to Edwards. Edwards turning it inside, back onto Goodway. Goodway drops the ball. The referee said the Barrow crowd don't like that. The referee's given the knock on after the ball had been dropped and gone to Barrow. And it's Potter who's coming off and Case coming off. Balls into the pack. Gregory to feed. Barrow must have knocked on after Wigan lost the ball. Gregory, a long one, out to Edwards. Edwards turning inside. And Wigan lost possession. Wigan sealing it up in the middle. As Barrow not giving an inch, nearly through, ankles tapped just at the vital moment. As Barrow looked like making the break. Kick behind the Wigan defence. It's a good rolling kick to the touchline. That was a very good kick by Barrow. Halfway between the halfway line and the Wigan 25. Wigan now with Brian Case on for Potter. Both sides playing without a loose forward. Two number 10s have been sent off. Shelford having trouble getting his head in, and it shoots out to Edwards. Edwards moving on to Hampson. Hampson quickly adds on to Bell. Bell making the break, gets his pass in. And Lydon's caught, his arms are locked. Gill gone across the field very sensibly, wanting a quick play. And a penalty to Wigan for Barrow offside. They've been lying up and moving in very quickly. Trying to keep the score down. Lydon this side to the far side of the field. Finds it on the 25 line. Dermott. On to Gregory. Gregory holding it short one. Shelford turns. Long pass onto Goodway. Goodway onto Bell. Bell being forced back. Knocks one off. Bell taking it out the far wing. Dummy into kick. Gets his pass in. Wigan streaking down the far wing. And they're held on the 25 line. Out to Gregory. Gregory a long one to Edwards. Edwards. And Wigan being smothered. Goodway gets his pass in onto Lydon coming through. And Barrow moving up very quickly onto Wigan. As Gill decides he's going to go on his own down the middle. And his legs are taken from under him. Edwards up to acting half back. To Gregory. Gregory going straight, gets a short pass in. Wigan trying to keep the ball moving as if it's red hot. It's flicking about from hand to hand, going for the corner, little kick, and it goes into touch, just short of the corner flag. Wigan whipping that ball about then as if it were red hot. Iro coming into the middle. As Gregory goes across onto Iro, Iro taking them with him. And he's held just short, but that was a powerful run by Iro. Worked out by Wigan, they decide. And Barrow looking yards offside as an overhead pass goes. And Platt is in. Overhead Platt. Well set up by Iro, that was. Hampson had gone out onto the wing and Iro came into the middle. Plunge for the line, held just short, and from the resultant play of the ball, Wigan go over and Leyden made it 20. "15 minutes of the second half gone. Wigan now in a commanding lead. Wigan making another substitution. Andy Gregory coming off and Jared Byrne coming on. Jared Byrne going on to scrum half, shakes hands with Andy Gregory as he comes off. Iro's little stumble, coming so hard. 3 players Nate needed to bring him down. Now Brian Case, been out of the game for a little while. Glutton for work. Wigan forwards coming strongly now, having trouble getting a good way down. Pulling away at the ball, but he hangs on to it for dear life. Not a good pass. Rolling it back. Dermot making a real mess of it there behind the play of the ball. Byrne gone to standoff. Comes out to Barrow. Byrne's in, taking him on it, turn back inside. Edwards still playing at scrum half. Byrne has gone to standoff. And Edwards moving up very quickly. And they're having trouble putting Barrow down. They're still giving it all they've got. Ball gone loose and Wigan have won it. The result of heavy tackling to Edwards. On to Hampson. Hampson streaking through. Still managed to get his pass in. On to Byrne. Byrne turning and twisting and buried with the ball. Dermot. On to Case. Case coming hard down the middle. Dermot to Edwards. Edwards back to Dermot. Short one on to Bell. Bell has skill with him. Turns it inside to Edwards. And the referee's bringing him back for a forward pass as Edwards goes over. Referee right with it. Edwards backing up well on the inside. And now Barrow warming up one of their substitutes. Shaw. Wanting to bring Shaw onto the field. Scrum half being brought off and Shaw being brought on to scrum half. Shaw goes to scrum half, he feeds. Shoots straight out the side of the tunnel. Edwards had won it. A lot of heaving going on among the forwards. Barrow winning possession and moving out well to the left wing. And Hampson covered across well to Tattle. Wigan trying to force them over the touchline. Barrow just short of the halfway line. Moving it across the field now. Mossop trying to come through the middle as his feet taken from under him. And Barrow just moved across the field. Nothing again. Now the forwards coming hard and straight and backing up. A good play by Barrow. Long pass goes out onto the left wing. Out onto Byrne. And Barrow moved well down the field. Ooh, and that was a ooh. You can probably hear the oohs from the crowd as Case went in strongly into the tackle. A high aimless kick. This should be covered by Wigan. Out. Wigan trying to come through and Hampson dragged down from behind to Toy to cross well to cover as Gill decides he's going to go down the middle and there's no way through, like running into a brick wall. Dermot to Bell. On to Goodway. Goodway coming out, gets his pass into Shelford. Shelford moves it. Long pass which is nowhere near. Referee's going to bring them back for forward as the ball was flung out wide out to the wing. but the ball was yards forward. Should almost be time for the sin bin men getting back onto the field. Coming out to Wigan, they won it against the head as Edward breaks from the scrum, streaking down the wing, good run by Edward, and he's fallen, but he gained a lot of ground and he was certainly shifting then. No sign of his injury there. Now as it comes across, Wigan going hard for the line, Case taking them on. Hampson coming into the left centre position as Wigan try to go through. Byrne lobs it back inside onto Platt. Platt taken round the ankles, can't get away from that sort of tackling. Good way now, coming from behind to play the ball, ducks under a tattle, looking for support, gets it to Edwards. Edwards turns it inside, Wigan let the ball go, and the ball's loose, but it's been snapped up by Barrow. Barrow now trying to bring the ball away from their own line, running wide across the field, over towards the touchline. And there's some tremendous tackling going on. Wigan trainer going on to give attention to an injured Wigan player. The referee's right on top of it. It's a bit of mauling going on in the tackling. The referee giving Barrow a penalty for Wigan offending. Referee signalling a forearm. Barrow up to the halfway line. Forward at a time, coming charging at Wigan. Dermot goes in. And Barrow finding it very hard to crack this Wigan defence. All they seem to know is to run at the Wigan pack. Comes out to Shaw, Shaw switches direction, long overhead pass, ball's been dropped, not taken cleanly, the referee will give the scrum down. Wigan, both sides, now back to full strength. In go the heads, and Barrow won it against the head. And this is becoming a very untidy game. Penalty to Barrow. Referee signalling people were shoving. "25 minutes of the second half gone. Barrow 4, Wigan 20. As a good kick is found inside the Wigan 25. Barrow still to get a try on the board. The Wigan defence holding pretty firm today. Barrow tried with sheer power, trying to crash the way through. The Wigan player writhing in agony as Barrow tried to go over from near close to the line. Referee says hold it, stops the clock. Could well be that Potter may be brought back on again. Wigan going to bring Shelford off as he's receiving treatment. He's not going to want to though. He's looking fit as Barrow trying to batter the way over. Wigan defence holding quite firm at the moment. Just one man at a time. Shaw now. Platt comes out quickly, and Wigan have decided they're not going to make the substitution as Barrow now kick a high one. Gill's under it, and Hampson 10 feet higher than anybody else, takes it so cleanly. Gilly running it out. Hampson magnificent at taking the high ball under pressure. Case using his hand off, gaining his yardage. Wigan trying to bring it away from acting half back. Wayne coming up onto Edwards. Edwards onto Shelford. Shelford taken by the ankles, has to go down. Wigan lining up very close as it's flung back for Lydon. He has to sidestep before he can get his kick in. And Wigan got it, going to give them offside. Referee adjudging that the Wigan wall of defence was in the 5-yard area. A good kick, pushes Wigan back. Barrow still with possession. As Creary sends a short one, he's met by the wall of Wigan defenders. Creary waiting for the play of the ball, holding it, lobbed back. Wigan seal up the gaps. Creary to Shaw. And Edwards is in very quickly, making Shaw come back inside. But Shaw's still going. Bell comes in with a beautifully low tattle. Stopped behind the play of the ball. Creary. Onto Walker. Creary moving it on. Shaw sends along one of Wigan have come in onto the Toit. The Toit lobs it out and it's been knocked on. Referee says it wasn't, it was knocked back. And there's a high one and straight into touch. No, bounces in the field of play and Wigan got it. Well, that looks as if it was going over the touchline. It swirled in mid-air. Wigan back on their own 25. Gregory bringing the ball away. Referee stopping the game while an injured Barovian is attended to. Referee wanted him now to get on with the game. No, he's still standing over the play. Looked as if he was walked over to the Wigan player with the ball.
Don't forget the Wigan supporters.
28 minutes gone in this second half. Wigan well in the lead, but they've had a very frustrating afternoon of it. And Barrow giving them a bit of stick. Referee waves time on as Edwards, a long lob pass. Wigan stretching them, oh, and it's kicked through by Hampson. Can he get to it before it rolls into touch? Bit of wild, long passing by Wigan. None too accurate. All Hampson could do was stab at it with his foot and it rolled into touch. It'll be sure to feed for Barrow. And he knocked on behind the scrum and Edwards has won it. Round very quickly. Shaw couldn't pick it up cleanly and Edwards onto the loose ball. Platt moving well across the field. Bell still on his feet, managed to get the ball onto Byrne. Byrne gets it out onto Iro. Iro still coming inside. Wigan keeping it moving, and eventually they have to succumb to the tattler. Lydon moving it across field. Onto Gill. Gill sees a gap, going down the middle, dancing and shaking his way. Gill still going. And eventually he's going to have to die with it. They're round him like bees round the jam pot. Dermot doing a run around onto Shelford. Shelford coming straight, loses the ball. Case falls on it. it looks as if Barrow warming up a substitute. Ball's out to Barrow. Shaw gets it moving. And they're going to be good way, going to be caution for a high tackle. Wasn't a hard one, but it was high, and all high tackles are punished as he took the it. No, it wasn't the it was the centre. Wigan back into their own 25. That's Carrere. Comes up, short one. Wigan wait for the forwards coming at them. And Wigan hanging on, the Barrow are in. Wigan forwards not ready for it, and the defence cracked by sheer brute force. Crashing over, making it now Barrow 8. Potter looks as if he wants to come back on, and Gregory coming back on. Tickle halfway in from the touchline, and it's a good kick. 20 points to 10. Touch judge not letting the Wigan substitute as Hampson going to be brought off, and Shelford. Andy Gregory going on, and Potter. And Blacker is being brought off, and Trainer brought on. Shoreline going to full back. Presumably Byrne will go to right centre. Andy Gregory kicks off deep into the 25. Could hear the thud of the bodies as they met. Mossop met by Platt. Bit of booing from the crowd as Platt went in. Flung back for the kick. Joe Lyden back in his own 25. It sits up for him very nicely. Ambling out, sidestepping inside. Bags a cover there. Gill's up waiting for the play the ball. And a penalty to Wigan for lying on in the tackle. And somebody opened his mouth, and that's bad fault of Barrow several times this afternoon. They've resented the penalty and they've paid the price for it. Joe Lyden gets it into touch, 8 yards inside the Barrow half. Dermott to Case. Case running into their front row. Dermott onto Wayne. Wayne not getting very far, tackling sure. Potter wanting to get it on the burst, but it doesn't go to him, it's Platt who takes it. Dermott does a switch to Edwards, Edwards holding it, trying to go through on his own, heavily tattled. Andy Gregory waiting for the play of the ball on. Up dumming it as Bell went inside, trying to use Bell as the dummy, caught in possession. Dermott protesting loudly. He lost the ball. A lot of shouting going on among the players. Barrow turning around, going round in decreasing circles. Not a lot of attractive play coming from them, you see. Barrow ploughing the way down the field. Kick behind the defence. That's a good kick. Good kick indeed. Pushes Wigan back into the 25. About 4 minutes of normal time to go. Wigan back in their own 25, leading by 20 points to 10. Gregory, as ever, approaching the pack from the opposition side. Feeds it. And to Gill, who's come into the middle. Gill trying to come inside, sidestepping. Beats one, beats another. And eventually, they've done enough for the cover to come across and take him. Greg moving back out this way, trying to dance his way through an army of blue and white shirts. Dermot to Edwards. Edwards moving it across. Good way, he's taking them on so strongly. Penalty for little thump in the tattle. Referee signalling quite graphically that an arm had swung into Goodway. I think Goodway gave him a little nudge earlier. Joe Line takes the tap onto Potter. Potter gains a good 12 yards of ground. Dermot onto Case. Case coming hard and straight, takes it over the halfway line. Edwards very close, first pass. Edwards going down the middle, trying to dance his way through. Joe Lydon coming up into the line from full-back. Comes to Gregory. Gregory gets it to Bell. Bell beat him one tackle. Turns it inside onto Potter. Potter going well. Onto Edwards, having to streak for the line. Edwards sprinting, and he's cut in two as the cover came back. Wigan now putting the pressure on, and they're going easily. No problem. After a lovely move by Bell and Edwards down the middle, Gerard Byrne goes over to make it now Wigan 24. Foregone conclusion. Line stabs at it and misses. So casual, taken very casually. Seemed to hit the ground as he hit the ball and was off target again. And Barrow making another substitution. Bringing Williams off. And bringing Marwood back on. Into the Wigan in goal area. Tony Iro faced with all the Barrow defenders. There's 5 of them round him. He's still on his feet. Potter. Showed quite a turn of speed this afternoon, Ian Potter. Dermot dumbing behind the play of the ball, onto Bell. Bell has to go down. Onto Gregory. Gregory turning and twisting, gets the pass in, and Wigan streaking down the field. First power and speed there, going for the line. Out onto Iro, and the cover goes back and take him, but Wigan certainly moved fast down that right wing. Wigan still going, fighting the way towards the Barrow line. Ball's flicked up in the air. And it's Barrow have it. It must have been the last tackle. Barrow back on their own line. Barrow had very little to offer this afternoon, but effort. They've run hard at the Wigan pack, but very little else to offer. Here comes Mossop. Being taken by Platt. Five tackles gone, says the referee. We're into injury time. There's the kick. Coming to Gill. Knocks it on. All the time in the world to take it. And he was ready to start dancing and jinking before he'd got it. And the hooter hasn't been heard. Keith Mills is on the field, and so we come to the end of the game with Wigan into the second round. I know you're very busy. Can I have a word with us? You're in charge of this sort of thing, the video, about the provision that's made in certain rounds. I couldn't see it. Certainly. You know. Right, thanks, Maurice. So, with Wigan into the second round, the players go off after a very hard, non-too-exciting cup time, and it's been a tough game. The final score then, Barrow 10, Wigan 24. This is your commentator, John McDermott. Hoping you've enjoyed the video coming to you from Central Park, from Wigan Rugby Football Club.